Hello everyone, my name is Dave. Hugh Jackman, the actor made famous for his portrayal of Wolverine in the X-Men movies, is more than just an accomplished Hollywood star. He's also a humanitarian, a husband, a father, a singer, a dancer, and a musician. And yes, he's even a Muppet. In today's video, we will look at some surprising facts about Hugh Jackman. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe button. It's free and will help me to build this channel. Hugh Jackman has been a massive Hollywood star ever since his first film role as Wolverine in the X-Men franchise. This has led to him starting his own production company, becoming one of the most recognizable and highest-paid actors currently out there, and even getting to do his own concert tour. Aside from his magnetic presence in Hollywood blockbusters, the husband and doting father of two is also known as Hollywood's baddest good guy. Jackman has managed to excel as an esteemed actor without sacrificing his homegrown values from the fabled land, down under. Jackman doesn't seem to be letting the fact that he's 52, and yes, that's his actual age, slow down his career. If anything, it seems like he's trying to go into a whole new part of it. Moving on from his iconic and probably most well-known role of Wolverine in 2017's Logan, the Australian superstar has been taking on a whole new slew of challenges and roles. Whether flexing his action muscles as Wolverine, getting emotional and musical in Les Miserables, or showing off his dance moves in The Greatest Showman, Jackman can seemingly do it all. That being said, let's cover 10 things that you should probably know about Hugh Jackman. Number 1. Russell Crowe was the first choice to play Wolverine. After all these years, it's hard to imagine Wolverine as anyone other than Hugh Jackman. However, it's all thanks to Russell Crowe, who was actually the first choice for the role. Crowe instead suggested that his friend, a then unknown Australian actor named Hugh Jackman, take his place. Despite the recommendation, Dougray Scott was selected to play Wolverine, but due to last-minute scheduling conflicts with his role in Mission Impossible 2, Scott was forced to drop out. Finally, Jackman was given the role, and the rest is history. Looks like the third time really is the charm. Number 2. Jackman created a foundation to help farmers. The Laughing Man Foundation supports coffee farming communities by investing in programs that clear the way to health, growth, and success for coffee farmers and their families. The foundation was started by Jackman after he met an Ethiopian coffee farmer named Dukale and his family. The meeting inspired Jackman to create Laughing Man Coffee and the Laughing Man Foundation to support families like Dukale's. Number 3. He met his wife on the set of his first major acting job. Jackman's first real TV break was in 1995 on a one-season, 10-episode prison drama called Corelli. In the series, Jackman played an inmate named Kevin Jones, who had an ongoing flirtation and romance with his psychologist, played by his now-wife, Deborah Lee Furness. Jackman and Furness's romance blossomed both on and off-screen, and the two tied the knot 1 year later. Jackman reveals he wanted to marry her immediately, despite being so young. He was in his early 20s when they met, and Furness is 13 years his senior. The pair tied the knot in 1996, but were unable to have kids even after trying in vitro fertilization, so they decided to adopt 2 children, Oscar and Ava. Since they have grown up in a life of privilege, Jackman admits that he's strict with his children and is constantly teaching them about respect and gratitude. Number 4. Jackman's mother left his family at an early age. Although Jackman was born in Australia, his parents are natives of England. Jackman is the youngest of 5 children, and when he was 8 years old, his mother left his family and moved back to England, leaving his father to raise him and his siblings alone. 5 years later, Jackman's father went to England in the hopes of reconciling with his wife. Dad went off to England to bring her back, but by this point she was married to someone else, with a kid. Jackman told The Hollywood Reporter, "It was really complicated. So when Dad arrived back, not 3 weeks later, as planned, but 5 days later, I just knew. I was old enough to go, this is not happening." Jackman has admitted that he used the anger he felt about that abandonment, especially how strongly he felt it as a teenager, to help him play Wolverine. Number 5. He dreamed of being a journalist. Jackman attended the University of Technology in Sydney, where he studied communications in the hopes of becoming a journalist. Back then it was his goal to become an international freelance journalist. However, by the time Jackman's senior year rolled around, he found he was a few credits short. He added a drama class to his schedule, and we think you can guess what happened next. Number 6. He plays several instruments and practices meditation and yoga to relax. Though it's probably not surprising given his obvious musical talent, Jackman plays 3 instruments: the piano, the guitar, and the violin. Additionally, given how stressful life in the spotlight can be, Jackman says he has been practicing transcendental meditation for nearly 30 years now. Jackman's Kate and Leopold co-star, Meg Ryan, turned him on to yoga, another source of relaxation for the actor. Number 7. He'd love for Tom Hardy to be his Wolverine successor. In 2015, MTV UK asked Jackman who he'd like to replace him for the role of Wolverine if there were to be a reimagined, younger version of the character. Though Jackman joked about not wanting to give the producers any ideas to replace him so easily, without skipping a beat, he said Tom Hardy would be his pick. Number 8. Jackman holds a superhero world record. As of 2016, Jackman has held the record for playing the same superhero the most times in a live-action film franchise, as he was the only character actor to appear in all 7 chapters of the X-Men series. Number 9. He has been a fan of musicals since he was a kid. Jackman's love of musical theater started blossoming when he was just 10 years old. He saw a high school performance of Man of La Mancha, which started it all. Since then, he has had major roles in musical films including Les Miserables and The Greatest Showman. Number 10. He has a man crush on George Clooney. Lastly, and probably the most entertaining fact about Jackman, is that if he were a woman, he'd like to date George Clooney. Yes, this is a question the actor was asked back in 2015, which he quickly answered. Ever the gentleman, he offered his apologies to Clooney's wife, Amal.